Good afternoon again, everybody, from the Ken Scarce Memorial Studios here on Field 12 here at Sunset Park. We have another game about to start. This is going to be the Dirty Divas of Iowa City, Iowa, and they will be taking on a team that we just saw win a thrilling game, and that will be the LA Roughnecks from the Glossa League. Rich Siegel along with Joel Tremblay. Our on-site engineer is Mitch Barnes. Our technical crew today has been Roman Jimenez and Justin Kugiwa, and we're a little bit away from starting this elimination game. The winner continues through the losers bracket, and the loser is finished for this tournament. We are competing the 18th annual Sin City Classic, and this is the one that at times used to be run by Ken Scarce, and we honor his memory by being in what we call the Ken Scarce Memorial Broadcast Booth this year, as we are in every tournament. Ken meant so much to so many people in the what was Naga and now International Pride softball. He was a big part of this whole weekend, more so for the softball side of it than anything else. Not sure if they've done the coin flip yet. We're trying to get our lineups into the books, and so we can call the game without interruption. And so, again, as I said, the Roughnecks with a thrilling win over the ATX Fusion that went to the top of the seventh inning, and the Roughnecks surviving a bases-loaded one-out situation to win that game by the score of 7-6. We saw the Iowa City Divas a little bit earlier here this afternoon. I believe we were in our first game. That was the winners division, winners bracket game, wasn't it not? It was one of the two that were being competed, and so Iowa City then was defeated in another game, and so as a result of that, they are here in this game, and again needing a win to advance.
And it looks, Rich, like they have flipped a coin, and the Iowa City Dirty Divas are going to be the home team. So the Roughnecks will be leading off with Luis Zepeda, number 11, followed by Jesse Scott and Javi Torres.
We're a little bit of ways away from them putting the lights on here, but nevertheless, we are ready to start. The first pitch to Luis Zepeda. He swings and hits one into left center field. It falls in for a base hit. The ball bouncing in front of the left center fielder, Chad Pirtle. That is going to bring up Jesse Scott. And the first pitch to him is a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dirty Divas pitcher is Pat Connell. And he throws home. And that pitch bounced on the plate. It's a walk, and the first two batters reach here in the first inning. Javi Torres will be the batter. And he takes a pitch out of the strike zone for a ball.
They took my bat, and they said I could get it back. Where do I go? Oh.
The next one is a ball. And that's another walk. So the bases are loaded. Zepeda at third, Scott at second, Torres at first, and Victor Armenta will be the batter. And he takes a strike called. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a fly ball head out into right center field. The ball is going to drop in for a base hit. A run has scored. Here comes another run. Zepeda has scored, and Jesse Scott has scored. It is 2-0. And it's a 2-run single, and on the play, Javi Torres holds second base. There'll be a courtesy runner for Armenta, and the batter will be Raul Longoria. And the first pitch to him is a strike called. The next one is swung on and lined up the middle. It's into center field for a base hit. Here's another run scoring. The ball is bobbled by the left center fielder, and now on the throw-in, the ball bobbled by the second baseman, and that is going to allow the courtesy runner for Victor Armenda to come all the way. The first bobble let him get to third. The second bobble allowed him to score. And so it's 4-0. And the batter will be Brian Strand. There is a ground ball foul down the third base line. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. There's nobody out in the inning. And a runner at first base. And the pitch is lined into left center field, in for a hit. Ball is bobbled again by the left center fielder, and that's going to roll to near the fence. This is going to allow Longoria to come around third to score. They throw to third base. The ball gets by the third baseman, and this is going to be another run scoring as Brian Strand comes in to score.
So 6 hitters, and all of them have scored, and we are now, I believe, at 6-0.
We are indeed. And still nobody out for Ricky Green. And the first pitch to him is a ball inside and low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the next one swung on and lined up the middle and on into right center field, and it's caught by the right center fielder. He swings and grounds one to the shortstop on 2 hops. Throw to first. I'm going to tell you why. The ball is not caught. The runner strays off of first base, but gets back before any play could be made on him. He, I think, lost that ball in the sun.
I agree with you, Rich.
It looked so much like that.
We are at the beginning of the first base line, and the sun is right in our faces, and I'm going to totally agree with you. It looked like he just could not see that ball, and the sun is going to be in their eyes over there at first base.
Chris Vargas takes a strike. So it's a runner at first base. And the next one swung on and bounced up the middle and on into center field for a base hit. It'll be first and second and 1 out. Alex Goncalves, the batter. He is going to be the EH in this game, I believe. And the first pitch to him it's a strike call.
Over these games, this is our 3rd game with the Roughnecks. They have pretty much kept to the same batting lineup, but they have moved people around, EHing, catching first base, and other places.
And here is the next delivery. Swung on and grounded to the right of the second baseman. It's underneath his glove and on into the outfield for a hit. And the the bases will be loaded. Around in this inning because the last batter in their lineup is Sergio Rivas, and he bats with them loaded. A strike called. And here is the next delivery. He swings and grounds one to the shortstop. He flips to second for 1. He throws to first, not in time. A run will score. And I believe that's Victor Bareilles scoring.
Yes.
The 7th run of the inning. Vargas made it to third, top of the order, and a pop-up on the infield. Third baseman calls for it. That's Evan Risk, and he makes the catch, and the inning is over. But this was a very productive start for the LA Roughnecks here. They scored 7 times in the in the top of the first. When we go to the bottom of the first, it is 7-0 for the Roughnecks with the Iowa City Dirty Divas coming to bat on the Cloud Sports Network.
We're here in this company to make the world a better place, and we like to think we're doing it through Tito's Handmade Vodka.
We head to the bottom of the first inning here, and already the Dirty Divas have a lot of work to do against Chris Vargas. They surrendered 7 runs here in the top of the first. They'll lead off with Evan Risk, Matt McCandless, and Mitch Pacansky.
Hey guys, the sun is out over at first.
And if anybody gets on, then Chad Pirtle would bat. And the pitcher for the Roughnecks, number 42, Chris Vargas. The catcher is number 9, and I think that is Victor Bareilles. First pitch is a strike to Evan Risk. This one is swung on and bounced foul down the right field line, and that is an out. The batter will be Matt McCandless, the shortstop. And the first pitch to him is a strike called. Here is the next delivery. Swung on and hit up the middle and on into center field, and that ball is down for a hit. And a 1-out single for Matt McCandless, and he's the first base runner of this game for the Dirty Divas. It'll bring up Mitch Pacansky. He, the right center fielder, bats from the left side, has excellent speed. And the first pitch to him, he swings and hits one in the air to right field down the line, and I'm waiting for the umpire to tell us what he did. It's just a foul ball. As we have mentioned a few times throughout our broadcast today, we are situated where we can see everything from left field to just about right field, but if it's down the line, we lose a little bit of sight and have to rely on the kindness of other people. There is a long fly ball hit out into right center field, and that ball is down. It's going to be at least a double. It will be at least a triple now. This McCandless will score. There'll be no play on him. And then the throw-in was bobbled by the cutoff, and that allows Pacansky to score, and it's 7.
Home run you can hit in D. And the Dirty Divas of Iowa City are on the board.
That'll bring up Chad Pirtle. The first pitch is high for a ball 2 and strike 1. Chad Pirtle plays left center field for his team. And he takes this pitch and hits one high out into left center field. Left fielder comes on, he drops the ball, and Pirtle will reach second base. So, 2 runs in the inning, a 1-out base runner. Pat Connell, the batter. He's their pitcher. And the first pitch to him is hit in the air on the infield. Second baseman makes the call and makes the catch, and that's the 2nd out of the inning.
Hey, let's go!
For Colton Alexander, the left fielder, and the first pitch to him is swung on and hit in the air to deep left center field, giving chase of the 2 outfielders. And that ball is going to go to the fence. It'll allow Pirtle to score. And on his way to third base is Colton Alexander, and they hold him there with a triple. 7-3 in favor of the LA Roughnecks. That ball was hit very well, and that'll bring up Matt Glatzik. Justin Bailey moves into the on-deck circle. And the first pitch to Glatzik is a strike call. And here's the next one. Swung on and skied into left center field. Left center fielder doesn't have too much to go. And the inning is over on the fly ball to the outfield. But 3 runs did come across for Iowa City's Dirty Divas here on the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second. Our new scores, the LA Roughnecks 7 and the Iowa City Dirty Divas 3 on the Cloud Sports Network.
And we'll take this changeover to catch you up on some of the rules. This is Open D softball, so a few things to keep in mind. The batters start with a 1-1 count. There is no courtesy foul, so if you have 2 strikes and foul a ball off, you are going to be out. The pitches should be at least 6 feet high, no higher than 12 feet. If they're higher or lower than that, they're going to be called illegal, and the umpire will yell that out as well as put their arm out in a horizontal bar. You get 1 courtesy runner per inning. You can also designate runners who have been approved by the league for what is called PIP, and that also gets you a runner as a accommodation, but that runner has to be the last out of the inning, whereas the other runner can be anybody off your lineup card. As I mentioned, no balls can go over the fence. A ball over the fence is an inning ending out here in D, but you can get those inside the park home runs. And if you are watching us for the first time, please do let us know who you're rooting for. Get in that Facebook or that YouTube chat and make some comments and let us know what's going on and who you're rooting for.
All right, thank you. The batter, Jesse Scott, to lead off in the second inning. Jesse Scott walked and scored the second run of the inning for his team, and he bats as the leadoff batter here in the top of the second. And the next pitch to him, he hits a ground ball to short, backhanded, and then off the glove of the shortstop, McCandless, and a leadoff base runner for as Jesse Scott reaches first base. That'll bring up Javi Torres, who also walked and also scored as part of that 7-run first inning. And he takes a strike called. It's 2-2. Here's the next one. Swung on and a chop to the shortstop. He bobbles the ball again, recovers, throws to second, and safe at second. It looked to me like the second baseman dropped the ball.
Yes, the shortstop recovered and had it there in time, but the second baseman had it in his glove briefly, dropped it, tried to pick it up again, but couldn't get control before the runner got there, so appropriately called safe by our umpire, Greg Wiley from Atlanta.
Victor Armenta, the batter. He singled, scored a run, drove in a couple in the 7-run first. And the next pitch is swung on and hit into right field. That ball's got some carry, and that ball gets down, and it's going to roll to the fence. Jesse Scott is limping home. He must have pulled a hamstring because he's hurt. He scores.
Like that, and that's rough. It is getting chillier out here as the sun goes down. Yes. We mentioned it was shining right towards the first base line. That's probably going to last for another 20 minutes or so, and it'll be behind the trees. And then we will start to get even chillier, and it can be rough. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe it's just a cramp that he'll be able to stretch out and get back in the game. Fortunately for the Roughnecks, they do have some subs, so they won't have to take the out every inning. They can get somebody else in there.
So a runner at first base, a runner at second base. Raul Longoria is the batter. It is now 8-3. Here's the next delivery. There's a strike called. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
All right, Pat, now you got it.
The next delivery swung on, and there is a fair ball hit down the first baseline and on into right field for a hit. Another run will score as Javi Torres crosses the plate, and it'll be runners at first and third. 9-3. And on the play, the runner for Victor Armenta made it to second base, or rather to third base, where it'll be first and third. And there's going to be a new pitcher. Jose Maldonado is going to come in to pitch for Pat Connell.
interesting change, but somewhat understandable. You know, when you start pitching in softball in D or E, often if you're throwing the ball over the plate and not walking people, that's enough. But sometimes when you are just getting hit that hard by most of the batters, you just have to make some kind of change. Maybe give the batters something that's a little bit of a different spin, a little bit of a different eye level, something to just try to make a change and shake things up. And I can tell you while we wait here to get the game going again, that we will be, of course, completing this broadcast. Then we are going to take a break at what would have been the 4 o'clock game that's running a little late. And during that time, the LA Shade, we will be playing the LA Shade, and there will be a game going between the winner of this game and the winner of a game between Down by 4 and the Toronto Swallows. So our next game will be what was originally scheduled for 5, probably going to be a little later than that, and it will be between one of the winner of this game and against the Down by 4 or the Swallows, and it will be playing the LA Shade. Yes. So the one team we can tell you is going to be in the championship game when we get there are the Basic Pitches from LA, who you saw in our very first broadcast today, beating these Dirty Divas from Iowa City.
Brian Strand, the batter, takes a strike.
And 3 of the 6 teams still in the brackets are from LA, the sponsor of this tournament.
And there is a ground ball into left field for a base hit, and another run has scored. The onslaught of base hits continues for this team. Mendez, a courtesy runner, scored in Armanda's position. So another 3 runs, and it's 10-3. And there is a base hit into Victor Bareilles, the batter. Victor Bareilles reached on an error in his first at-bat, and that first pitch to him is in for a strike. Sun going behind the trees to our left. Not going to be too much longer before darkness will settle in and that chill in the valley will take over. But we're prepared for it this time. There's a ground ball to short on 1 hop. He'll step on second for 1, throws to first, and out at first base. And that will be 2 outs here in the third, or rather the second. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Chris Vargas. And the first pitch to Vargas is a ball. And the next one, swung on and grounded to short. They'll play on to first. And the ball again gets by the first baseman. He just lost it in the sun. It's very difficult to see. I'm going to call that sun.
I would call that sun, and I believe on that around to score, so sure another run batted in.
This is another big inning. It's 4 more runs have scored, and the batter is Alex Goncalves. And it is a strike called. Here's the next delivery, and that pitch is inside for a ball. 2-2. That pitch is high and deep. 3 balls and a strike. The next delivery is a strike called. It's now 3-2. There's a little confusion as to what is going on. It's 3 balls and 3-2. The Dirty Divas were coming off the field as if the inning had ended. Steve Babish is debating the call, and now they say he is out, and that's that.
I think what happened there was that the umpire may have called a strike and then missed it when he said 3-1 instead of 2-2. But in the end, agreed there were 1-1 and then 2 more strikes on Goncalves, and that's the third out of the inning.
4 more runs did score here in the top of the second, and we go to the home half of the second. Now the score is 11-3 in favor of the Roughnecks. Oh, they got 5. I have 5.
Yes, so now that we got that settled, we got the score is 12-3, and we had that third out of the inning. We want to tell you about another one of our sponsors, and that is Lexus. Designed to seamlessly blend eye-catching design with exhilarating performance and dynamic styling, Lexus has been proud to support the Sin City Classic with its series of brands for 18 years running. And Rich, I'm going to try to clean this up because I think I made that bracketing as clear as mud. Somewhere about right now, down by 4, and the Toronto Swallows are playing. The winner of that game and the winner of this game will play during our break. And then after that, we will be back for the winner of that game against the LA Shade.
All right, Goncalves has now come behind the plate. There is a high fly ball hit out into left field, and the ball drops out of the left fielder's glove. It'll be a double, or at least an error. Now the runner coming over from second base to third, and he's out. That's Justin Bailey. Seven, 6, 5 is how the putout is made, and that'll bring up Stephen Holter. And the first pitch to him, excuse me, is illegal for a ball 2. And the next delivery is deep, ball 3. 3-1 the count. The toss to the plate is a walk. Ryan Hallbacker is playing second base, and he is the last batter in the batting order, and he'll bat with the runner at first base. And he swings, and he hits one into center field for a base hit. Left center fielder comes over and throws the ball back in. It'll be runners at first and second.
And that sun continues to go down, Rich. It's a little bit better for us here in the broadcast booth. Looking out at the field, it's probably still a little rough right at first base. There's still one path of the sun leading right to the first base area, but that'll probably be gone in about 5 minutes.
Evan risks the batter, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. He struck out on that foul ball in the first inning, and he takes the pitch for a strike. It's 2-2. The next delivery, swung on and lifted in the air to right center field, coming on to make the catch, out number 2. And on the play, runner tags, goes from second to third, and he is safe.
Close play there at third. Nice throw.
Pitches a ball. Here's the next delivery. McCandless lines one into left field for a base hit, and a run does score. Holter scores, and on the play, Hallbacker to second. Bring up Paczynski, the lefty who in the first inning hit an in-the-park homer. And he goes after the first pitch and grounds one to the second baseman. and he flips to the shortstop, and that ends the inning. I have 1 run for the Iowa City Dirty Divas in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third. Our new score is the LA Roughnecks 12 and the Iowa City Dirty Divas 4 on the Cloud Sports Network.
And just a reminder, if you're watching, to please let others who know the folks on these teams know that they are being broadcast on the Sin City Classic Facebook and YouTube pages. Tag your friends. Let us know who you're rooting for. Let us know who you have some shout-outs for. Just to kind of run down the paths to this game for our teams, the Dirty Divas, again, you saw them earlier today in our first broadcast. They beat the Palm Springs Poppers 20-3, the Austin Fusion 7-6 in pool play, and in the tournament beat the Racers 8-7, the Fusion again 13-2, the Toronto Swallows 10-7, and then they lost to the basic pitches 8-10. They've been waiting. So for the 2 games you've been watching since then, they've just kind of been waiting for the next team to play, whereas the Roughnecks were in our last 2 games. They started in pool play coming out of their bracket in first, beating the Denver Flying Squirrels 12-5, then the Shady Pitches 13-4. Then in the tournament, the Bolt Grizzlies 20-11, the Fort Lauderdale Fame 13-9. Then losing to the LA Shade last night, who, as we mentioned, we'll be seeing later today, and then beat the Norfolk Gunners and the Austin, Texas Fusion.
Sergio Rivas will lead it off here in the third inning, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. And the next one is swung on and caught. Oh, dropped. Caught and dropped by the catcher, but he is out on the foul ball. And that's how the third inning starts, is a strikeout. And the batter is Luis Cepeda, who has reached once and scored once. And the first pitch to him is a slow roller back to the pitcher, covers the play nicely and throws him out. And it's 1-3 on the put out, and that's out number 2.
And I think
Jesse Scott is out of the game. This is someone new because he's not wearing shorts. This is number 97.
I have that as Espinoza. So one of the subs that was listed on their original lineup card, as you say, I think that's because Jesse Scott came up hobbling, coming around third, but he did score that run. Nice choice by the pitcher there, I think, to throw that ball underhand over to first base. Probably helped with trying to see that ball in the sun and get it into the glove.
So Espinoza is batting. Javi Torres is in the on-deck circle. There's another, I think the umpire and the scorebook operator for this team are making the necessary change. 97 for 18 indeed is that. And the first pitch to him, swung on and bounced right back to the pitcher. He fields the position well, and he throws him out, and that's the inning. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the third inning. We go to the bottom of the third. We are still 12-4 with the Roughnecks leading the Dirty Divas here on the Cloud Sports Network.
And we've got another sponsor to tell you about. The Sin City Classic wants to acknowledge longtime sponsor Piranha Las Vegas. An early supporter, Piranha is Las Vegas's hottest nightclub. Piranha is the home of legendary Vegas performer Hot Chocolate, who along with the rest of the team will make sure you have the best time. Whether it's your first time or your first time in a long time, go to piranhavegas.com for more info. That's piranhavegas, all spelled out, .com.
So if I'm reading this right, and I'm looking at all these numbers correct, it appears to me that Sergio Rivas, who was the catcher, is now out in right field in the position that was vacated by Scott. And that likely makes Espinoza the DH, or the EH. But in this inning, we'll start with Chad Pirtle. He reached on an error and scored in the first inning. He swings and hits one into left center field, and that ball back into the infield, and a leadoff single by Pirtle starts the bottom of the third.
Well, a lot of football being played this weekend as well, Rich. And one of the things you got to do if you're behind is hold them and then score. And that's what the Dirty Divas were able to do in the third inning. They held them 3 up, 3 down to give themselves a chance to make up some ground here.
This is Jose Maldonado batting for the first time. He came in to pitch for Pat Connell. So this is his first at-bat. And there is a fly ball lifted out into right field. Sergio Rivas coming in. The ball is down for a hit. Chad Pirtle around third or second on his way to third. The throw comes into the third baseman, and a good base running by 63, Espinoza. The throw came into the third baseman, who tried to throw back to second base to get Espinoza. The ball rolled into the outfield, and that allowed Pirtle to score, and it's now 12-5. Colton Alexander now. He is the left fielder. And he takes the second pitch and pops it up. Shallow left center field. Coming in as the left center fielder. Makes the catch. And that is the first out in the inning. Matt Glatzik, the batter. And Matt Glatzik is waiting for the first pitch, and there it is, and he takes the pitch on the plate for a ball. It's 2-1. There's a runner at second base. There's one out in the inning. A run has scored in the inning. That pitch is outside, ball 3-1. And the next one is a strike. Strike 3-2. And the payoff pitch is lined into right field. That ball is going to get down, and it's going to roll all the way to the fence. This will score Espinoza. Glatzik around second. He's going to third. The relay throw is into the third base, or the throw from the relay man gets to the third baseman, but not in time. So it's Espinoza scoring, and it's a triple for Glatzik. Justin Bailey, the batter, and he lifts one to the left field. That is down for a hit. And Bailey will motor into second with a double. This is another 3-run inning for Iowa City. That double and the RBI that goes with it makes our score 12-7. And the batter is Stephen Holter, the catcher. He hits a pop-up. Shallow left center field. Left center fielder out number 2. The bottom of the order means the second baseman, Ryan Hawbreaker. In this game, Ryan reached and first pitch to him is a ball on the plate. And the next one is hit in the air to left. Left fielder giving chase, moves over a few steps to his right, makes the catch, and the inning is over. A 3-run inning, though, for Iowa City here in the bottom of the third. We go to the top of the fourth. It is now the LA Roughnecks 12 and the Iowa City Dirty Divas 7. 7 here on Cloud.
So Iowa City getting something going there, talking about the teams and their paths to getting here. You know, two of the forces that are sort of competing when you're playing a tournament like this throughout the day is how hot are you from playing when your body is warm when it's starting to get cold, and how hard is it to come up after having to sit for 2 hours waiting for your next opponent? So Dirty Divas came out looking like they were a little hard to get started again, whereas Roughnecks came out hot. Momentum may be switching here a little bit after that third inning where the Roughnecks calmed down and went 3 up, 3 down, and the Dirty Divas got 3 back. We're hearing there's about 10 minutes left in the game, so we will probably get through the 4th inning, and then we'll see how it goes and let you know if we're going to get a 5th inning. Again, after this, we're going to take a break, and we will be back for what was scheduled to be the 5 o'clock game, probably going to start a little later unless there's some run rules going on in between, and that's going to be the LA Shade against somebody.
Javi Torres will lead off here in the top of the 4th inning. He has walked. He has reached on an error. And that pitch is outside for a ball. And the next delivery is a ball 4.
And with those 10 minutes, still time to tag your family and friends, put some comments in, let us know you're watching, let us know who you're rooting for, and send any shout-outs you might have.
Victor Armenta will be the batter. And then Raul Longoria runner at first base, and nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. And the first pitch is a strike call. The next one, he swings and hits one to the right of the second baseman. He fields it backhand and comes up throwing to first base for the out. If he fields it cleanly, he might have had a double play, but he was able to recover in time. The batter, Armenta, does not run particularly fast, and so he had an easy recovery and a play on first. But on the play, Torres to second, and that'll bring up Raul Longoria.
And the sun here mostly behind the trees. There is still one little strip of sunlight going across the first base line, but it is a little short of the bag, so hopefully a little bit easier for those first base players now.
Longoria in this game has scored 2 runs. He's been on base twice. He takes the first pitch for a strike. The lights are on here. When we were here on Friday, we were in our third game of announcing, and we were announcing the championship game. Is it the championship game or the if game? There's a ground ball hit off the first baseman's glove, caroms to the second baseman, but there'll be no play. So it'll be runners at first and third with one out, and the batter will be Brian Strand.
Wasn't that long ago, but not 100% either. I believe it was the if game, because I was surprised it was an if game because I thought they were doing single elimination.
Right.
So it was the if game, but as you were going to say, these lights went out, and we had to have a champion crowned by a 2-inning decision.
There is a line drive to the second baseman on one up. He'll flip to second for one, over to first, not in time. And a run scores as Javi Torres scores the 13th run of the game for his team. So Torres has scored 3 times.
And again, that was the Norfolk Gunners being the champions of Legends D, and the Fury Fire from San Francisco being a class act, having lost the 5 runs in the third they scored to tie the game and taking home second place.
Ricky Green, the batter, pops up into foul territory and heads up. One of the few balls that has actually left the field of play. And here is the next delivery. That pitch is a ball. Our score is 13-7 in favor of the Roughnecks. There's a swing and another foul, and he's out. So, 1 run came across for the Roughnecks in the top of the 4th inning. Heading to the bottom of the 4th, the score is now 13-7 LA over Iowa City on the Cloud Sports Network.
So we started that inning with about 10 minutes on the clock, according to our fearless leader, Roman Jimenez. We are probably now at 7 or 8.
Well, I think I heard him say 5:26, but that may be what time it is on the clock. Let's see. 4:27.
No, 4:27. So,
okay.
So about 5.5 minutes left. So probably the Dirty Divas either need to make quick outs if they really want another inning, but that's going to give the Roughnecks a chance to score, or they need to score 6 to tie and 7 to win in their half of the 4th. If they get close, that's going to have eaten up the clock, and they're probably going to have to do it this inning. Watch some of our other games. If the Dirty Divas were to get 2 outs very quickly, you might see them do one of those maneuvers like they tried to do, the Roughnecks coach tries to do earlier, where you make an out on purpose to get that other inning. But I think it's more likely that we're going to play out the bottom of the 4th. And Greg Wiley out there confirming the scores, which I believe I heard the same as we have, which is 13-7 in favor of the LA Roughnecks.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Evan Risk will lead off. First pitch, swung on and hit out into right center field. Catch is made. That's out number 1. I believe that's Javi Torres out in right center field. Regardless, it's an out. And that'll bring up Mark McCandless. He has singled and scored a run, and he has singled and left stranded. So he's 2 for 2. And he swings and lines one over the third baseman's glove and on into left field for a base hit. Oh. We're being offered some chicken.
Good.
Looks like it's from Raising Cane's. Thank you, though. Here's a fly ball hit out into right field off the bat of Mitch Bansky. And this is going to be a 2-run in the park home run. That's the second one that he's hit today. He hit one in his first at-bat. Now he hits one again in his third at-bat. And that's 2 more runs, making it 13-9. No lead is ever safe. Chad Hurdle, the batter, reached on an error, singled. There's a fly ball hit out into left field, and the catch is made, and that's out number 2. Catch made there in left field, and that'll bring up, I believe this will be the pitcher. Should be. Let's see. It is.
And there's a little bit of chat here going on, and with 2 down, I've seen teams who would get the out here and try to get another inning. We'll see what the Dirty Divas try to do here.
And the first pitch, he swings and hits a ground ball to the first baseman. Okay, so tell me what just happened.
So what just happened is, the theory of this is the Dirty Divas coach or team decided that they had a better chance to score the 4 more runs they need with a new start in an inning, hopefully having held the Roughnecks, than to score 4 more runs with 2 outs. So if you step on the plate when you make a swing, make contact with the ball, and put the ball in fair play, that is an out because you stepped on the plate. So that batter, on purpose, hit the ball, did hit it fair down the first base line, and stepped on the plate, and the umpire called the out. You don't have to make the play. You don't have to get to first. It's an out because you stepped on the plate, basically out of the batter's box. So it's meant to get you that extra inning when you decide you'd rather start a new inning than try to finish it off with 2 out.
Thank you.
And that is, again, for those who watched one of the earlier games, that is what the coach of the Roughnecks tried to do, but time had already expired, so what the Roughnecks did was go on to just score more runs in that inning and come from behind to win that game. But we are going to the 5th inning.
Victor Bareilles to lead things off. He hits a bouncing ball right back to the pitcher on one big hop, and the first out is made.
And Chief Technology Officer Mitch Barnes had just said there's 20 seconds left in the game, so by the time I finish, it's probably going to be 10.
Chris Vargas will be the batter. He, the pitcher, singled, and he has also reached on what I call a sun play, where the first baseman, by the way, the timer is going off. He reached on a ball where the first baseman couldn't see the throw coming from the shortstop. So we called it an infield single because of the sun. There's a strike called. It's 2-2. Vargas swings and hits one to second base, and the out is made 4-3. Alex Concalves is the batter. Time has expired. He has singled, and he has been called out on strikes. And the first pitch to him, he swings and bounces one over the pitcher to the second baseman and on into right center field for a base hit. It was a big hop, and the pitcher was not able to make the play. Sergio Rivas will be the batter.
And just to be clear, because we had some different situations, the clock is off. The Dirty Divas are the home team. There's no time pressure on the pitcher here. None of that must throw strikes now. He can play this straight up. They're going to get their half inning no matter what happens. Unless the lights go out. Always something new.
8 for 82. I don't. Oh, so there's a courtesy runner, number 8, and I think that's some Mendez. I think you've had him a few times today.
Correct.
First pitch is a ball. Second pitch, swung on, hit out into left center field, and that ball is going to be down for a base hit, bobbled by the left center fielder, and this will let the runner from second over to third easily. Mendez running on that bobble. Noticed it, the play was out in front of him. And it's first and third with 2 out. And the top of the order here is Zepeda. Strike called. A ball and 2 strikes. Espinosa trying to get out of this inning with no further damage and give his team a chance. There is a fly ball hit out into left field, and the catch is made. That ends the inning. So they know what they have to do now. Time is out there. Not going to be in any particular hurry. The score here as we go to the home half of the 5th inning remains the LA Roughnecks 13 and the Iowa City Dirty Divas 9 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
So that sort of get an extra inning plan by making that out on purpose has 2 phases. First, you got to get the other team out without digging yourself a bigger hole. They've done that. Now they still need to come back and get the 4 runs, but they do have 3 outs to play with to get that done. If you've been watching pro football all weekend, this is about the same as making them punt and getting out and getting the offense back on the field with no timeouts left in the 4th quarter.
All right, in the bottom of the 5th inning, the leadoff batter is the left fielder, Colton Alexander. It'll be he, Matt Glatzik, and Justin Bailey. First pitch is a ball. And here comes the next one. A swing and a ground ball to short on 3 hops. The throw to first is not in time. The ball gets by the first baseman, and so Alexander reaches.
At least when it comes to the ground, you don't see that ray of sunshine anymore. That throw may have just been too low to get no matter what.
Matt Glatzik, the batter. And the first pitch is a ball. Here's the next delivery. And that pitch is a strike called. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Runner at first. They need 2 more base runners to have a chance. There's a fly ball hit out into left center field, and that ball is going to be caught on a nice running catch to the running to his right. And that will bring up Justin Bailey. That's 1 out, 1 on. First pitch is a ball. And there is a fly ball hit very high, manageable. I couldn't see how my vision was blocked, and so I guess that's a double. The catcher and the umpire were directly in my way.
I thought the left fielder caught that, but he must have gone over him and bounced over the fence where it was
Well,
double.
Colton Alexander was at first base, so apparently he caught it, and the runner tagged and went
There
to
we go.
second. And so the last hope is Stephen Holter. Stephen Holter takes the ball. So a runner at second with 2 out and a strike called. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here is the 2-2 delivery. Swing and a line drive back to the pitcher, and that ends the game. A hit, but no run scored. That makes our final score the LA Roughnecks 13 and the Iowa City Dirty Divas 9. We want to thank you for being with us here for this game. The Roughnecks will move on. Iowa City's run through the tournament is done. We congratulate them and thank them for their participation. So we are going to take a break, a well-deserved break, I might add. Going to rest our voices for a little bit. Thanks for being with us on behalf of Joel Tremblay, on behalf of Mitch Barnes, Roman Jimenez, and Justin Kagiwa. Rich Siegel saying we'll talk to you again in about an hour or so here at the 18th Annual Sin City Classic on the Cloud Sports Network.